Kids, how's life going? Is it getting too boring for you being yourself? Is being a normal, non-attention seeking person getting too damn difficult? Well, with this latest edition of my handy dandy how-to guides, you can figure out how to be the best Transtrender you possibly can, in an oddly specific way to garner attention and sympathy from people, which will inevitably backfire. Step 1. Pick a really fucking stupid sounding name. Clint Smith Jr. didn't sound like the kind of guy who was starving for attention, but Sarah Rutabaga III sure as hell does. Step 2. Pick a bunch of self-contradictory labels. Sure, they don't make sense when applied, but neither do any of your arguments when you're on camera. You don't want to be a straight man anymore. Oh no, that doesn't get oppression points at all. You want to be a heterosexual woman who only bangs other women. Again, it doesn't make sense, but neither does anything about you. Step 3. Start making really fucking stupid YouTube videos about how things work in your little mind. Now note, make sure at no point do these correlate with any actual facts. Also, avoid anything which could directly contradict you. Anything that says you're wrong is not a reputable source. Specifically pick biased blogs and sources to maintain an argument, and even then, half-ass your way to making sense. Pick something which could easily be debunked, which leads us to Step 4. Ignore and divert any and all criticism. You don't want to listen to anybody bringing you back to reality. That'll just bring you down. And when it comes to actually transgender people who are getting pissed off at you making life even harder for them, right-wing puppets. What the fuck does Blair White know about being transgender except for actually being transgender, transitioning, hormones, trying to save up money to actually get sex change surgery, and actually knowing the genuine hardships of going through life with gender dysphoria? You've been pretending to be transgender for 5 whole months or less at this point, so you know more than she does. You and your biased sources. Dismiss anybody that criticizes you as a right-wing puppet, a bigot, or a hater sent from Reddit. It doesn't matter how well argued their fucking points are, they're just bigoted, or at least in your mind they are. Science, biology, fuck that. Your imagination's all you need to start your YouTube career. Step 5. Pick a like-minded bunch of fellow lunatics to side with. If you can find a bunch of people that share your ridiculous ideals and even back you up regardless of the lack of facts, even better! That makes your argument that much stronger. Well, not really, but who needs actual fact? Much like in my first how-to video, you don't deal in facts. You deal in fifis. Because feels are reals. Step 6. Start e-begging. You're not doing anything that any other transgender isn't doing, but you do yours with fancier camera tricks and fancy setups. Production values are your forte, covered with a fancy layer of seemingly knowledgeable bullshit to anybody that doesn't know any better. So what you do from here is you set up a Patreon and you e-beg. And make up a bunch of bullshit as to why you need this money. Be like Justin Dennis. Say you research your videos. Say you need equipment. You don't need any of this fucking shit. You're a charlatan. But hey, they don't need to know that, and if people are dumb enough to hand over their well-earned dosh to you, well, you've earned it. It's hard work conning people and living in blissful ignorance. Step 7. Well, I call it Step 7, but this one's really interchangeable with anything and can go anywhere. If people have the audacity to question your contradictory labels, tell them you owe them nothing in the way of a fucking explanation. Tell them you owe them no proof. Tell them that your private life is none of their business, even though nearly every single video you bring out is more information on your private life than anybody goddamn cares about. Your private life is private when absolutely necessary, otherwise all bets are off. Who cares? You're trying to make a victim of yourself. Common sense and logic are your mortal fucking enemies. They're like Decepticons to Autobots. They're like G.I. Joe to Cobra. And note that the Decepticons and the Cobra organization were both the true good guys of their cartoons because they were oppressed by the patriarch. I mean the good guys in those respective shows. They were oppressed by the majority. Because as we all know, there is no such thing as an evil person representing a minority. That's just silly. Step 8. In the comment sections of your videos, only communicate with those who agree with you. Again, you are trying to ignore any criticism because that might reveal your ignorance if you do start trying to counter these things. You're trying to sound like you know what the fucking hell you're talking about, even though you have no goddamn clue at all, you stupid motherfucker. I mean, you lovely person. And there you have it, another handy dandy how-to guide. How to be the best, brightest and most obnoxious transtrender you can possibly be. Just remember, you're not really transgender, you just want to parasite off some of their oppression points. Because isn't that what the internet's for? Mummy and daddy don't care about you and never have done, but a bunch of random idiots on the internet might. I'm Damian Skyfire. Respect my pronouns, shitlord.